Hi and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the car boot crafter, and this is possibly the last, well, this is the last embellishment that I'll be making for my embellishment folder, which I've been making the whole of September. Hopefully you've seen some of the videos already and you know that this folder is a giveaway. So whoever enters the giveaway and wins will receive the folder and all the bits and bobs in here, including all the embellishments I've made this month, along with some extra little goodies, some stickers and some words and stuff. So I'll link the first video of September in the description box below. That's got all the bits about the giveaway if you're interested in winning the folder. If not, or if you're not in the UK, why don't you grab yourself a folder, any size you like. I've done A5, but any size you like, and follow my tutorials on how to make all the bits and pieces, all the different embellishments inside the folder. Anyway, let's pop this to one side, because what I want to do is show you how the embellishments I made last time turned out. So these are them. These are covered altered paper clips, two different sizes, and I've decorated them up. Still not sure about putting a little Diamante stone at the end, but we'll think about that. But I've done all the decorating. I've added the little jewels at the end as well. So this one has got a key ring on, so you can use it as key ring or take it off and use it as you will. But this one has got the sunflowers. Well, they're not really sunflowers, they're more like daisies, aren't they? The daisies and the lovely little bumblebee that sits on that one. So that's got that one on the end. This one has got some beautiful, love the red of these, proper blood red there is. So red and white, and then I've thrown in that absolutely exquisite blue green stone as well at the bottom. This one has got more of a silver take on it, with that beautiful smoky ball at the end as well. And then this one I've just gone with a trio of little beads and silver beads on the bottom as well. So those are the finished ones from not yesterday, a couple of days ago, the video that I did, and I just wanted to show you how they turned out. So I'm just going to pop these to one side, and I'll pop them in the folder later on after I've done today's video. So this is something I wasn't planning on doing it, but it's something I've been thinking about doing for a little while. So let me show you, and I'm having to do it in stages. Let me move everything out that I need. So I'll need some scrap papers. I'll need some dies, different shapes, whatever shape works for you. Pop them to one side, some scraps. And I've got some little charms as well. And I've got these, I think these are dressmaking pins. But I'm going to use those on my embellishment today. So the first thing I've done is I have found myself some nice size dies. And you don't have to use dies. Do yourself a template and just cut around them if you want to. And what I'm doing is cutting out 3 of each shape. Let's pop that to one side. So I'm going to have 2 different types of embellishments. They're going to be very similar, but they're different in as much as the shape, the base shape is different. So one's a heart and one is stars. And the first thing you do is cut out 3 from some nice, well, doesn't have to be nice, just some scrap card. I'm using cream, but you can use patterned if you want to. You can use all your scraps up and then layer a plain on the top, whatever you want to do. And the first thing I'm going to do is layer them up. I'm just going to glue them one on top of the other, like that. So making sure that I cover the whole of my shape, especially those edges, because I want it to stick really, really well. what I'm trying to do is get a nice solid base so that it's thicker than card. Or I mean, I could have used some wooden MDF shapes, but I didn't have any that were thin enough or the sorts of shapes I wanted, but I thought this would be a good alternative. So just layer them up, and like I said, I've used my dies to cut these out. But if you haven't got a die cutting machine, just draw yourself a template of whatever shape you want to do and then cut them out. What you could do if you wanted and you weren't too sure of your cutting skills is layer them up and then just trim them back with your scissors. So I've layered up 2. I'm just going to do the 3rd one really quickly. Hopefully I'm managing to get all those edges. I was particularly finicky when I was doing the others about getting those edges, but this is just to demonstrate. If it doesn't work out, I'll do another one to go in the folder. So getting all those right, especially with these star ones, I need to go all the way up to that point like that. There we go. I think I've done that. Yeah. And then pop the next one on. Whoops. Make sure that's nice and clean. Pop that on, and then I just pick them up and just make sure that the edges are all lined up like that. And it does help to just pinch those sides. And then I use my bone folder to make sure that there's contact throughout the whole of the shape, so that that's got a good solid hold on it. So there we go. That should, and then pop it to one side to dry. I did this one about an hour ago, so that should be well and truly dry. Depends on whatever board or glue you're using. I'm just going to, I've got a nice heavy punch, so I'm just going to pop that on top so it doesn't curl up. So I don't want it to curl. So now I've got my dried shape, and it's a good solid shape when you've got 3 layers on it. I've put something on top to hold it as flat as I can. It's still bent a little bit, but it's fairly flat. So the next thing I'm going to do is I've got some really nice tissue. Now this is crafting tissue that I picked up absolutely ages ago. It's Do Crafts Paper Mania. It's tissue paper, but I've used it for lots of projects and I keep coming back. Absolutely love it. And it opens out. There's loads of like little Parisian menus and adverts and things on it, so it's really useful for that. I don't know whether they still do it, but if you do see it, grab it because it's so useful. So what I'm going to do next is grab my distress ink, and again I've gone for my brushed corduroy, and because I've used plain card, I'm going to go round and just ink all those edges before gluing on the tissue. So just going round whatever way you want to. I did think about maybe next time I do this, I'm going to maybe use some of the colourful ones, maybe the blues or the pinks, maybe just to give it a different feel, a different lift. But these ones are an antique-y look, I think. So when you've done that, come back in with your glue again. And if you don't want to, if you've got a nice colourful pattern, then go for a colourful pattern. You can use whatever tissue you want to. It is your project. But I'm using this one. So what you can do, if you've got something, I mean, I've got some lovely unicorn ones. Those would make some great embellishments for the grandchildren, especially the granddaughters who are unicorn mad still. Let's pop that on. They've not gone past that age yet where they've outgrown being fascinated by unicorns. So yeah, so or I could have actually, to make some Valentine's Day ones, I've got some lovely red tissue with like gold hearts on, so that would be really nice, especially on the heart shape. So again, make sure you've got your glue all the way around, and I'm using my trusty glue spreader. And then whatever tissue you're using, decide where you want to lay it. I'm going to lay it there so I get all those letters on there like that. I think that will be really a nice addition to it. Let's grab my scissors. I'm just going to cut that across like that, just that side with that shape I'm going to use on my star when I get to it. So now I've chopped that bit off, I'm just going to use again my bone folder, and you can decide whether, I mean, you could crunch it up and make it really textured if you wanted, you know, sort of screw it up. Let's do that with this one actually. Screw it up, open it up, and then when you lay it down, you can either spread it out like that, so you've just got some basic, some bits of texture, or you could leave it quite crumpled, lay it over like that, and because it's tissue paper, just press it into your heart or your star, or whatever shape you're using, press it in, and the glue will grab all the way around. You have a really deep texture to it then. Let me pop that to one side. Right, there we go. And once it's dry, I'm going to attempt to do it before it dries, but once it's dry, come back in with your scissors. I usually just trim the extra bits off first, and then go back in and trim from the back. So that gets rid of the bulk of what we've got. Let's lay that down again. I'm just going to carry on making sure we've got plenty of contact on the glue, and then come back in and using the thick card that we've created as a guide, I'm just running my scissors around the outside, and it cut, because it's tissue, it cuts incredibly easy. And I know with the star I could just run my scissors along and it just cut it really well. So because that's a bit of an awkward to get into, I'm going to start up here and carry on all the way around like that to the end, and then I'm going to come back caggy handed way, but I've only got that little bit to do, and that comes off like that. So there we go, that's the start of our embellishment. So if you want to, you can go back over again, but I would wait until it's dry. This is still quite wet, so I'm going to pop it to one side to dry, and I'm going to bring in the ones I've already done. So I've already done that star and this heart. Now this heart I didn't ink it because I wasn't sure whether I was going to or not, but since it's dried I really want it inked, so I'm going to go back in and ink now, going all the way around. But that gives you an idea of whether you want to ink or not and when to ink. You can do it either before or after. I like it before because you get a much deeper colour, but there you go. Right, now then, next stage is I've got some scraps of card, and I've got a couple of punches. So I've got a flower one and I've got a small circle. This small circle I think is about 3/4 of an inch. Let me just double check for you. Or is it 1/2 inch? No, it's just over 1/2 inch. think it's millimeters actually. Yeah, it's 1.5 centimeters, which is, oh gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5/8 of an inch or thereabouts. And all I'm going to do is punch out. I'm going to punch out 4 while I'm here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 circles in that browny colour, and I've also got the flower. Now it's the smallest flower one I've got. I have got that one as well, but I wasn't quite so keen on it. I think I prefer this one. So again, I'm going to punch out 4. So, oh, 1. That's not worked, has it? Because it sprang up before I finished. Okay, let's start again. One, yes. 2, 3, and oops, if I can get it back in. 4. I've chose the pink, but go with whatever colour you want. This is just scraps. Oh, I've done it again, haven't I? Not pushed down properly. Look, did I get a full one out, or is that just, it's stuck in there? Hold on. No, I got it. I've done it. Yeah, I've done it. So I can pop those scraps away. So yeah, just 2 little punches, or create your own tiny flowers. And then again, bringing my ink pad in, what I'm going to do is go round the outside of these. It is double-sided. There is a pattern on the other side, but I want the brown side. I wanted something that was fairly neutral to go against the flower, and just ink just to give those edges a look. So you can see it just dulls it down a little bit more. So let's go all the way around like that, and the last 2 just gives you, I mean, if you've got card that doesn't need it, then you don't need to do this step, obviously. Nearly done. So in fact I only needed to do 3, didn't I? But never mind, they're done now. Right, and then I'm just going to find my glue again. It's on the desk somewhere. I know, I did have it a minute ago. Right, let's use this one instead and hope it works. Oh yes, there's a bit of air going in and out. So just putting a little bit of bob of glue on the middle, and just then I'm just using the nib to just drag it out and then place it in the middle of those. Let's turn it over. Tiny little bit in the middle. We don't need a lot, because these are tiny, and they will just, whenever you put them on the card, they will just grab. 2. Let's bring these down. So I've done 4, so it's 1 for each embellishment. So if I was just doing the 1, then I'd only do this once. There's 2. Let's do a 4th one, although I don't really need it because I've already done 1. Right, but these I can leave to dry for a minute. Let's see if we can't pick it up. No, why is that not picking up? There we go, and drop it on there. like that. There we go. So then I've got those 4 done. I'm just going to push those to one side to dry and bring in these which I did earlier as well. So this one I've done exactly the same as I've just shown you. This one I did the inking afterwards, and I think it's the colours with this. It just sinks into the background paper, so you don't get to see it so well. And so I prefer that one because it just stands out a little bit more. Right then, that's the one I've just done. So that's still cold, so I can feel it's the damps in there. And what I want to do now is glue it onto there. So just going to use a bit of glue, and I'm gluing it but only to hold while I do the next stage. So I only need the tiniest amount, and I want it to dry really, really quick. So there's that done. Then I've got some of these little brads. Don't know why that's in there, but I've got some of these brads. So I'm going to bring out my crocodile or whatever you use, and I'm going to see which one fits in there. So I think those ones are those ones are too big for what I want. I only want a tiny little one, so maybe that yellow one will go. Let's have a look. Will that go in there? I always test it by just dropping it in and seeing if there's much movement. There's not a lot, so I'm going to use that yellow one. Let's put that away for a minute, and hopefully that has grabbed. And then using my thin side, I'm going to try and get it in the middle of that flower and punch. So I've got a hole in the middle. Drop in the brad. Woo! That's got suddenly developed a life of its own. Drop that in there. Come on. You do fit, I know you do. There we go. So that's gone through. All I need to do now is give that a squeeze. There we go. So I've now got my brad in the middle of my heart, and let's grab one of those sewing pins. Right, I've got 2 different colours. I've got this steely grey, or I've got the white, and I think I'm going with the steely grey because I want it to carry on looking quite what's the word, quite vintage looking still. So let's pinch that open. I'm going to thread it onto there. Through it goes. And then, oh, I've got to do it the other way around, haven't I? And yes, I've just realised if I put it on afterwards, it's not going to work. So next thing I need to do is, I've got some of these tiny little charms, so decide which one I want on there. I think I'm going to go with the butterfly, on there. So let's pop that on. Let it go all the way around, and then thread it through like that. Close that over, and I then have a cute little charm on my embellishments. And if I wanted to, let's see if I can grab one. And my drawer here. If I wanted to, I could come in with, oh, let's see, we come in with some words and pop that on. Wooden, we've got wooden, what's on the other side? Teased. So I could add that on if I want to. I'm not going to, because I'm going to leave it to whoever wins the folder. There is a whole pinch of these words in the folder already, both in colour and white. So that's all you need to do to make these embellishments. I like them. I think they're cute. I'm really glad I kind of thought about it a little bit. Let's see if I can find another one. Oh, I like that colour. Right, let's grab my crocodile again. Decide which is the top. This is the thing with hearts, it's really easy. I know exactly which is top and which is bottom. With this one, I'm going to have to decide. I think this is the top. So I'm going to put it on this side. So again, let's pop that hole in there. Pop my little brad in. Oh no, before I do that, I've got to do this, haven't I? These are still a little bit wet. If this doesn't work, then I will just leave that there without finishing it. Oh, okay, that has worked. Let's pop that through there. It's a little bit off centre, that one, but that doesn't matter. All adds to the charm of them. Pop that one on there, pop that through the hole as well. There we go. And then using my crocodile, I need a smaller one for there. Do you know what? I've had this for years and I still don't understand how to use it. So if anyone's got a video on how to use these and what the different sizes and scales are, please let me know, because I would love to know properly how to use this. There's that one. And again, let's get one of these little vintage looking pins. Which one should we have this time? I think a rose this time. That's not a charm, that's a little what was it, a little sequin. Right, let's pop that through there. I think this one can go, yes, that one will go easier. And close that over, and there we go. We have another little embellishment. I think that needs to go round. There we go, that's better. Another little embellishment with the rose on. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to finish the rest off soon. So you take care and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.